Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to my channel, Anne's Aesthetics, where hopefully I can bring you some peace and happiness through a very trippy painting tutorial I have for you all today. This is actually one of my most popular paintings that I have ever done. We are going to be doing Courage the Cowardly Dog, and we're going to be starting off with this beautiful purple. I mixed a white with some dark purple to create that, and I hand sketched Courage himself. You can either do that or you can print off a picture of Courage and kind of do the trace method, whatever works best for you. But I did this because this is the third time I've done this painting, and Lordy knows I should be able to draw it by now. So we're just going to do some purple detailing with that purple mixture we did in the beginning and making sure he looks real cute before we start anything else. Moving right along, we're going to take some red, a darker red color, and this is kind of liquidy for my liking, but we're going to use it with a small paintbrush for the inner part of his mouth where his tongue would be and stuff, if he had one when he's screaming, but it's so far down in his throat. You know the drill. I'm going to ensure I paint around the little teeth so that I don't have to go back in and try to paint with yellow over red later, because that would just not be something nice and easy to do. It's just easier to paint around it this way. Now, while we're waiting for everything to dry, we're going to start with the acrylic marker process on the outside. So we first are going in with some red. You don't have to go in with red. You could start with a different color. I just was feeling red. I feel like red is a very good popping color next to that purple shade. And then I was really struggling with this blue. It was very watery. I tried really shaking it to get it to mix up. So I took a pause on that before something bad happened. And I decided I'm going to work on the nose. And I took this really crappy brush and used paint that had been sitting out for way too long to create the nose that is going to be on Courage's little face. And after the nose, I said, you know what, we need to get these teeth done, so let me take another crappy paintbrush and let me work on these teeth. And I realized, oh, this is not a good brush to get fine details and fine lines. So we need to switch the brush, so that's what I ended up doing, which thank God I did, because it made it such an easier process. God bless those skinny brushes. It was at this point I realized Courage's ears were black and not purple, so I had to go over them and paint them with some black, which luckily that was very easy to do and took me literally a minute to accomplish, but we did have to make that minor correction. I've given enough time for the blue to kind of settle and my brain to recoup, and I was ready to take it back on. So we're just going to finish this blue outline, and once I was able to get it under control, it ended up being a really pretty layer, but it took a little hot second to get to where we're at, as always. After the blue, I'm going to be using this like yellow green shade around, and I thought this was a good contribution of like a bright bam in your face color. Also, when doing this, make sure to let the acrylic marker layers dry in between, or else they most likely will bleed with one another. Woo, I had to take a break from all that. So we're going to focus on this even more tedious, trippy eyeball that he has. I'm taking the tiniest paintbrush I could find with some black and a lot of patience, a whole lot of patience. And I'm very carefully going to go in small sections and create a spiral for his eye using a black shade. I figure while I still have the black out, I might as well use it on other parts of the canvas. So I started with outlining the actual body of Courage, and I'm going to start with his little paw. And it was so tiny, oh my goodness. But we got it through there, and then we moved on to his little arm, and then started off with his body. It's nice to be able to draw a circle and get away from all those little tiny lines. We are going to outline the teeth as well, so continue with that little black and go along the teeth. The same issue I had earlier with the blue marker, I ended up having with this purple marker. It was super, super dark, and I swear I shake these before I use them, so I believe I am mixing them properly, but this one was just, I guess, maybe a little stuck extra, and I maybe should have mixed it a little bit more, but eventually it kind of calmed down and we were able to get through it. However, the problem was that the color ended up being a different like shade towards the end, but it was okay. We just had to do 2 layers for this one, so this purple layer was a little bit more difficult, but like I said, we got through it and we're going to finish it. I was trying to decide what color I wanted next. I'm like, well, we got red, blue. I always go through the rainbow. I'm like red, orange. Well, we don't have orange and could do yellow, but I kind of wanted to do orange because I thought green, purple, orange. That's a nice trio. So we're going in with some orange, and this orange ended up being a really nice smooth shade for me, so it was a quick and easy process. And if you notice, we really don't have that much more room that we have to work with. So we are kind of getting towards the end of this painting, which is super nice. Now to illuminate the trippy effect, we're going to go back in with the red shade and repeat the cycle. Now this might not be the exact red shade, but I'm just going in with the red shade, okay? I can't tell the exact difference between the 2 red shades. It's whatever. We're just going to do what we got to do, but I'm loving that this is coming to be an easy process towards the end. I love sharing this tutorial because I think it's so easy for the beginners of most beginners. Anybody can do this. It doesn't take that much of time, and it's a really cool painting when you're done with it. Okay, we've been having one-eyed courage over here for half this time. We should probably deal with this. We kind of got a better view of what's going on, so I'm taking a very tiny paintbrush again. However, this paintbrush was not as tiny as the first paintbrush I used, so it was a little bit bigger of lines, so I went back in with the other eyeball and kind of thickened her up a little bit to kind of even it out. And again, I used the paint that was sitting out for a little too long. I wanted to use it up, but it had gotten a little goopy and kind of made it harder to spread around, but like as always, we get through it. It's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna use this also to kind of just fill in the eyebrow, which will pretty much finish up this eye here soon once we kind of outline the eye and get the little under eye sag going. And we can't forget that Courage has these really cute little whiskers, so I'm going to add in one here and one on the other side, and this was the finished product. I really hope you all enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope you guys subscribe, like, comment, maybe even share with a friend, and I thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and that you'll consider coming back. You take care now. Bye-bye.